everybody. I'm Hillary Atkin from the Atkin Report, and I'm really excited to welcome AleXa from American Song Contest to this edition of Hillary's Happy Hour. AleXa, how are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you doing, Hillary?
Really great. And I've got to say, the show is off to a fantastic start. And your performance of Wonderland during the premiere episode was really spectacular. So how did you feel as you finished your performance and you got that amazing feedback from Kelly Clarkson and Snoop Dogg?
I mean, thank you so much. Truly, thank you so much. I mean, this first episode, I think also, I agree, it kicked off in such a wonderful way. All these artists were phenomenal. Everyone brought their A game, but definitely at the end of my stage, after I launched myself backwards into that foam pit and I'm just laying there and I hear these kind words from the legendary Miss Kelly Clarkson and Snoop Dogg, my heart was just like pitter pattering, just like, oh, I am so happy. I was just so full of joy at those moments.
Well, your performance was so joyful. And talk about the choreography. You just kind of gave away what happened at the end with your dramatic exit from the stage. So tell us more about that.
Absolutely. So when we first got this choreography, our creative producers, basically creative directors for this, was House of Sam. Absolutely incredible. They helped create this whole thing together, like cinematically, conceptually, choreographically. It all just came together to be this masterpiece that it is. You know, we incorporate those stairs, the falling, the dancers were connected to these red ropes at the beginning via harness or collar or like leg attachment. It was just this grand spectacle to watch. And it was just an art piece to watch, I guess. It was just a really fun thing to be a part of.
Yeah, it was really, really amazing. And I did love those red ropes, and that was incredibly dramatic. But I wanted to talk about your state, Oklahoma, and your style of music is not necessarily associated with Oklahoma. So talk to us about your ties, especially to Tulsa, while your hometown, while shaping a lane for yourself there.
Absolutely. I mean, just like you said, yeah, when you think of Oklahoma, the first music genre to pop in your head is probably not K-pop. But I mean, the thing is, the wonderful thing about Oklahoma is that there's so much more than just country to offer. Because I feel like most people going into this probably would have assumed that maybe we sent someone like Blake Shelton, who happens to be on The Voice NBC show, because he's from Oklahoma, who does country, Garth Brooks, Carrie Underwood, Reba McEntire, all these acclaimed country singers. But you know, we have bands like the All-American Rejects as well that came from Oklahoma, as well as Hanson. And then there's myself, a K-pop artist born and raised for 21 years in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So, you know, I'm just proud to represent what diverse little facets Oklahoma has to offer.
Well, it's really exciting to see. And let's talk about the massive popularity of K-pop in the US and how you first got into the genre and actually how you first got into performing in general.
Sure thing. I mean, dating back to when I was only 2 years old, that's when I first started taking ballet classes at my local studio. My mother really encouraged me to stick with dancing throughout growing up. And so I did ballet for about 14 years, including point ballet. And then I did my school's competitive dance teams through middle school, high school. I did show choir. And then for the small time I was able to attend college, my major was musical theater. So I was kind of performing and dancing all my life. But then with K-pop, I discovered it back in 2008, so well over a decade ago. And honestly, had my best friend not shown me it then, I honestly don't know where I would be today. I fell in love with it immediately, and it became this just inspirational thing of, oh, I want to do this someday. I really want to do this someday. So yeah, the rest is history.
But let's talk about the support that you have received from your friends, your family, and your fans all over.
I could not be more grateful for such a wonderful support system. I mean, I have had the wonderful opportunity to meet some people that have, you know, been with me since day one before I even became a K-pop artist, who just happened to know me via my social media presence. And then people that have been just now joining the bandwagon as well through finding me through ASC. And I'm just so grateful for every single person that has been uplifting and giving me words of love, words of support. And it just warms my heart. It truly does. Thank you so much.
You know, being on this new show, American Song Contest, which is, of course, based on Eurovision, which has been around for years and so popular, but what is it like for you competing against established artists like Michael Bolton, Macy Gray, Jewel, and others? I mean, my gosh, you guys have a level playing field, right?
Oh my goodness, when I first saw the lineup, because as soon as I knew I would be representing Oklahoma, immediately I was like, okay, who's representing the other states? Because we heard that, there was a possibility of, basically anybody from the industry could be representing a state or a territory. So
Yeah.
I was so nervous to see who would be in the show. And then when I saw the likes of Macy Gray, Michael Bolton, Jewel, Cisco, I was like, I was taken aback for a moment. I was like, I am going to be competing with these legends on this nationally broadcasted show. It was very surreal for me, but let me just say from experience, having the legendary one and only Michael Bolton on our episode, the first episode, I was so touched to hear him sing in person because I grew up listening to his music thanks to my family, and just hearing him perform in person was just truly a magical experience.
I am sure that you're going to have many other incredible, magical experiences on the show. And I wanted to wrap up our happy hour, AleXa, by raising a glass to you and wishing you continued success on American Song Contest Monday nights on NBC.
Thank you very much, Hillary.